John Garcia, Superintendent of Downey Unified, reaching out from my house as all of us are spending a lot of time in our homes right now. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to share some updates. So as we get closer to the end of the school year, wanted to make sure and provide some updates as to where we are. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for all of the work that they are doing, our staff, our parents, our community support, and you know what, most of all, our kids. They are absolutely amazing. So we have quite a few things happening in the month of May, what traditionally would have been our physical in-person end of school year. And in order to provide us with a message on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to introduce the president of our Board of Education, Mr. Donald LaPlante.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. On behalf of my colleagues, thank you. I'd like to thank the teachers. Teacher Appreciation Week is this week. California Day of the Teacher is Wednesday, May 13th. You made it happen from day one. You went home on Friday the 13th, and by Monday morning, March 15th, you were up and running, providing instruction remotely. In other parts of the state, it took weeks to work out the details and get up and running. You took our motto of "Our kids deserve the best" and made it happen, knowing that we'd work out the details later. The week of May 17th to 23rd is Classified School Employees Week. Our instructional assistants are working with their teachers to help students, and the rest of our classified staff are either working remotely to keep the district functioning or coming in daily to make sure our facilities are safe, secure, and operational. We're sorry you'll all miss the donuts, bagels, and other treats in the lounge to celebrate those days and weeks. We'll make it up to you. But especially last Friday was School Lunch Hero Day, and our food service staff are true heroes to our students. From the week school went virtual, they have been providing meals for about 4,000 students a day. That's 8,000 meals a day, 40,000 meals a week, over 250,000 so far. All safe and bagged and ready to eat. Thank you to the other staff who have pitched in to make this happen, knowing that in the current economic bad times, these meals may be the only ones available to our students. We're also proud that district-wide over 8,000 computer devices have been distributed to students who needed them to continue the instruction at home with you. This is over a third of our students. We've also distributed internet hotspots to about 100 students who needed them, but there's still more students needing them. Our board and district leadership have made this need for internet connectivity a priority as we've talked via Zoom with our local legislative representatives. We've told them about the great things you're doing in the teaching, feeding, and caring for our students, but have also emphasized the critical need for internet, personal protective equipment as we go forward, and adequate funding. Finally, on Tuesday, Mrs. Krista Ulawan and her class were surprised by Channel 7 News and the helpful Honda man who gifted her class with hundreds of books, Target gift cards for all the students, and enough coffee to keep Krista going until the fall. It's been seen by hundreds of thousands and also caught the attention of our local Congresswoman, Lucille Roybal Allard, who featured it yesterday on her social media platform. Although Mrs. Y got the spotlight, we know you're all doing the same great work. Dr. Garcia, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. LaPlante. So really appreciate that. And I know you shared there's a variety of different celebrations for all of our staffs this month, administrators, nurses, school lunch heroes, teachers, our classified staff. And again, to reiterate, we really do wish we could do all of this in person like we normally do, but we will be there. We'll be back as soon as we can, and we will figure out a way to make sure that we get that done. I do want to address a little bit about some of our students. We do know that this year, in addition to our seniors, who I'll get to in a minute, we have our 5th and our 8th graders who are promoting from their respective grade levels to new schools. And so we want to make sure we know that you know that we are thinking of you, and that each one of those schools and principals and staffs will figure out ways to address and acknowledge our promoting 5th graders and 8th graders. I want to address specifically our seniors. I think all of us have been through our high school graduations, and none of us ever went through anything like this before. So we're really putting a lot of focus and emphasis on how can we make the best make this the best that we possibly can for the seniors of the class of 2020. Started a few weeks ago with interfacing with some of the senior representatives, let them know how badly we feel for them, that we're sorry they're going through this, and we're committed to making the best of it. The board has given us direction to figure out what we need to do to make this the best possible experience we can for our seniors. So to that end, we did some surveying of our seniors and our parents, and we've heard you. The number one choice of seniors all across the district and parents was that all of you want to hold out for a traditional commencement ceremony whenever we can do it. The summer, the fall, even as far out as next winter break. We heard from over 50% of our seniors and parents, they will absolutely come back for that. So we will continue to work on that. But we also heard that you want to honor the time slot of when those graduations would have been from Columbus High School on May 27th, from Downey High School on May 28th, and Warren High School on May 29th. And that you wanted to do something virtually or digitally, some kind of a celebration, not a commencement ceremony, but some kind of recognition. We will absolutely do that. We're also working with the city of Downey to see if we can get some kind of fireworks show at the end of that. And so want to make sure we honor that time as well. And we've heard you, and we do want to celebrate you for sure. So as we move forward, looking past those promotions and what would normally have been those end of year celebrations and commencement ceremonies, we'll continue to work on those and refine those. We also look toward the summer and what will summer school look like. Unfortunately, because of the limitations of not being able to physically be present with each other, many of our summer programs will not take place this year. Our STEAMworks for kindergarten, TK through 8 students will not. Our Summer 101 put on by our adult school will not. We will have extended school year for our students with IEPs. We'll definitely have credit recovery for our high school students and grade repair, as we always do. Those are things, but those will be via distance learning model. And so we'll continue on with those programs in a distance format as well. As we look toward next year, we don't have all the answers at this point, but here's what we do know. That the board has been very clear with us and given us direction that whatever happens, we are starting for our students on August the 12th, whether it's in a distance learning format, whether it's in a partial distance learning format, but we do not anticipate, unfortunately, that all of our kids will be able to come back on the same day. So it's going to look very, very different than it has in the past. Again, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but we will continue to keep you posted throughout the coming months on what that is going to look like. Our goal is to try to bring some of our staff back partially in the summer, and then get as many of our folks back in August as we can, assuming that they don't have a compromised immune system, or that it's going to be safe to bring them back. We want to bring back as many of our staff as we can and be there for our students on August 12th. We'll continue to work on what our plans look like. In addition to that, we'll be surveying our community and our parents to talk about, what do you feel? Where are you in relationship to sending your child to school? Would you be comfortable sending them 1 day a week or 2 days a week, or whatever that looks like? Would you not be comfortable sending them at all, in which case you want to keep them home for family reasons for a full distance learning model? We just want to get a gauge of where our community is in relationship to that. But what we do know is that we'll continue to work together. We'll be there for our students however we can, whenever we can, and do what we can to make sure that their learning continues. Also, as we look forward to next year, you may have seen this morning, I'm taping this on Thursday morning, May the 7th, that the state budget is going to look very different for next year. Our school district budget is about 95% dependent on the state of California and what our allocation is from the state level. And according to the Los Angeles Times this morning, our state revenues are going to be down significantly, not only for the last part of this year, but even into next year. And that's going to have an impact on us. We don't know exactly what that will look like yet, but we do know that there will be challenges ahead. I do want to end with this as we move forward. Physically, we are apart, but in Downey Unified, we're always together. When we talk about Downey Unified, the emphasis is always on Downey Unified, that we are a family, that we are in this together. And the challenges we have faced so far in the last few weeks have been about us coming together as a family and being the best that we can for our community and for our kids. As we move forward and as we look forward, our Board of Education continues to give us direction that we need to be the best we can for kids, that our kids deserve the best regardless of what is going on around, and we will always be committed to providing that for them. I want to thank all of you, our staff, again, our community, and our amazing, amazing students in Downey Unified for coming together during this time, for knowing that there are challenges ahead, but that we will face them together, unified as a family, and we will work through it together, supporting one another. Thank you, everyone, and I look forward to my next communication.